Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, fellow MGTOW brothers. This is Apparition again. Title of this video today is MGTOW, Why PUA and Pickup Artistry is Misleading. So the alpha male and beta male, ever notice how alpha male and beta male are terms used in relation to women, i.e. women are sexually attracted to alpha males and women use beta males as providers, right? Alpha and betas are used as classifiers for men. However, they are not. These terms are ideas, are social constructs. They're not classifiers in the scientific sense. Being an alpha or a beta is more about your mindset. Enter PUA and pick up philosophy. Selling snake oil. Pickup artistry peddles this idea that all men, no matter height, age, religion, ethnicity, background, education, income, can learn how to be a Casanova and pull any woman, ultimately betting them. This is a marketing gimmick because whilst all men can improve their game, factors like height, money, and age do matter. So if you look in the description below, I've linked a scientific study that actually proves that women are sexually attracted to taller men. Many scientific studies have shown that the single most attractive trait a man can have is height. In the sexual attractiveness category, tall men even beat out rich men and well-educated men. For short men, there are medical procedures that are available that you can use to try to get taller, like bone lengthening. There's a procedure called Fitbone can give you up to like 4 inches more tallness. I mean, it's a personal choice up to all men, whether they want to do it or not. My point here is that just height does matter, right? Garbage in, garbage out. So in the end, a man can change his destiny with women. However, there are certain characteristics that do matter much more than game, which means right out of the gate, a man is limited with what he has. And in the audio-visual world, we have this concept known as garbage in, garbage out. And what that means is that the original file that you're using for your production, the audio file and the video file, if the quality of that file is crap, it's poor, you could do whatever manipulation you want to it. The overall result of your production will be poor if the origins of it is poor. Why am I mentioning this to you? Is because what you bring to the table is what you have to work with. All PUA does is it helps you to be more appealing. Similarly, when you look at pickup, the same is true. If you are a short man, 99% of the time, you won't be able to attract a woman that's taller than you or even the same height as you. It's just the way nature works. When PUAs tell you that you can pick up any woman, they're lying. And this is not to say that PUA techniques are useful. I actually discovered MGTOW through PUA. Friend-zoned men and female nature. So for men who are not successful with women, especially the ones that get friend-zoned, they don't get to know true female nature. This is the so-called loser men that always get used and abused. Or they get used basically by women who usually know that these men want a romantic relationship, but they keep them on a leash in order to use their time, their money, and their companionship, and to use them emotionally as emotional tampons. The only time men really get to learn true female nature is when they're in a long-term relationship, such as a marriage or they have children. And then you see the switch, you see the change, you see that they were fake the whole time. The novelty of the relationship wears off. It wears thin, and these women start to expose their true nature. And this is why many MGTOW are men whose mothers were total bitches to their fathers, number one, or they were actually involved in a divorce or bad relationship. I came from a very traditional background. Women in my community were socially shamed into being loyal and respectful to their husbands and fathers. So I never really got the full-blown female nature until I had children in America. But before that, I learned a little from PUA. And here is where PUA becomes very useful for men. You see, PUA provides a protocol for men to follow on how to get sexual benefits from women. So why is PUA useful? These protocols or PUA rules help men to circumvent their biological directive to be white knights, to be nice, to be accommodating, and most of all, to protect women. This is a biological imperative that men have. And I will cover some of these rules and discuss why they're useful and discuss the usefulness of the ideas of MGTOW and PUA together. So the first thing is ignoring beautiful women. Due to our direct nature, men usually signal to women very overtly that they're interested in them sexually, right? Usually, like a normal sexual testosterone-fueled male, he will indicate very overtly, right? Women indicate in more subtle ways because they don't want to seem like sluts a lot of the time. When I say overt, I mean they either come right out and tell them, or they do it in nonverbal ways. From what I've learned from PUA and my experiences, I always ignore beautiful women, period. Don't even look at them in their way, try not to be in their vicinity. More often than not, if they're part of my social group, they will gravitate towards me, right? Why? Because they're used to men coming up to them. They're used to men trying to find ways to be around them. And when I used to have one of my old friends back from high school, he used to have this saying. He used to say to us, mystery is currency. Mystery is currency. Mystery keeps them curious. So how do I actually catch a look at this particular quote unquote beautiful women or whatever? So we as men are very visual and we like to look, right? That's the thing. So you have to be able to do it very discreetly. So what I would do, I make use of reflections, right? If I'm on the subway, if you look at when you're in the tunnel in the subway and you look at the window, the tunnel is dark, the window turns into a mirror. Right, and if you angle your eyesight correctly, you'll be able to see behind you. In the malls, same thing. The malls are very decorative, and there's mirrors all over the place. You can use a mirror to get the snapshot that you want without revealing your interest. The next thing is the next rule of PUAs, and also I think MGTOW as well, never compliment a woman on her physical appearance. Subset of the previous rule. I never tell a woman stupid stuff like, oh, your eyes are beautiful, or you have wonderful hair, or something dumb like that. Because you know why? Nothing puts you faster in the friend zone than these kind of worshipping statements. Women always need to feel that you have something better than them in the cards. Otherwise, you just give it up. That's it, right? They need that little chase. There needs to be a little bit of uncertainty there at your beck and call. And it is unoriginal and needy to compliment a woman on her looks, and it is basically pussy worship. She probably hears a compliment 1,000 times a day from other guys that are not familiar with what we're doing. Show interest by commenting on something else. Comment on an article of clothing, for example. That's an interesting tattoo. Why did you choose to get that? Or a nice pair of shoes? Or there's so many other things that can be said to indicate interest that doesn't look needy and unoriginal. Of course, if they have approached you, or if there's a situation in which both of you have come into close proximity, then you can open up, and then you make those openers about certain articles of clothing, or has to do with what the situation is. And don't use cliches like, oh, nice weather today, or something dumb like that, because it doesn't take the conversation anywhere. Women flake on guys because they have not built the necessary rapport to bring down the shield, right? If she has a boyfriend and she likes you, there needs to be a legitimate reason why she's going to go out with you. Otherwise, she will look like a slut. So what you need to do is give her the reason. Oh, we both like art, and we're going to see the specific artist, right? And then once you go to the gallery with her, you can sexually escalate, and boom, it's all over, right? But this channel is not really about teaching PUAs. I just want to make guys aware of some of the problems with the PUA. What's it useful for, but also what it's not useful. So I'll go into that right now, and then I'll talk about your goals as a MGTOW and how PUA could factor into that. So why is PUA bad? Men spend too much time and resources exclusively for the purpose of attracting women, and it's friggin' pathetic. I'll have a lot of descriptions, links, and videos below for you to see examples of what I'm talking about. Women are attracted to men for different reasons than men are attracted for women. Women are specifically attracted to tall men, like I said before, muscular men, dominant men, men with status. Dominance can be learned. Status can be signaled by money and occupation. PUA tactics can inform dominance, for example, topics like sexual escalation. However, what you do with your money is more important than having. If you simply give it up to her, it's over, right? Use your money and status to signal high value for the purpose of getting what you want. But never give your money away to a woman, because then you'll lose respect, right? And from a MGTOW perspective, I would say, instead of spending all this time on PUA tactics, on game, spend 90 to 95% of your time developing yourself and improving yourself, learning a new language, going to the gym, focusing on your career. Even without the gynocentric society now that we have, married men always fared worse than bachelors, because they spent so much time on the family, providing for the family, and they couldn't spend time on themselves. Ever notice a man who gets married, right, 2 or 3 years after marriage? What do you notice about him? What's the first thing that you would notice about him? The first thing I notice is they always gain at least 20 to 30 pounds, right? Why? Because they're stressed out. They don't have time to go to the gym because they have a family to take care of. So the scabs of MGTOW. He posted a link. He posted a video called "The Cringe-Worthy PUA Documentary," and it elucidates the scam that it is. It is hilarious and sad at the same time, because so many men with low self-esteem fall for the PUA bootcamp scam. When you watch this video and look at the so-called pickup artist, he looks like a freaking loser with a capital L. And men with low confidence fall for it because the guy is charismatic, right? But when you look at his quote-unquote game, he fails with almost every single interaction, appearing weak and needy. And the only play he gets is from fat chicks, right? Look at the video. I'll post it in the description below, and you tell me, right? Most of the play that he gets is with fat chicks, right? And in Barbarossa's video, look at point 6 minutes and 25 seconds into the video. The artist tries to pull one of the only good-looking women in the video, and she completely shut him down right in front of the other guys. And it's so sad, and these guys, who are probably paying thousands of dollars to hear him speak, don't even clue into the scam that it is, right? And they're so blind that they didn't even notice that he openly lied to them when he claimed that another girl had kissed him on the lips at 8 minutes 14 seconds into the video. And he goes, so she has a boyfriend, and he purposely kissed her on the lips. Yet he claimed early in the video that he wanted to bring love back and trust into the world and all this bullshit. PUA could also be a setup, right? So this is the number one reason PUA is dangerous for men, because it sets men up to experiment with women without acknowledging their true nature, okay? And use PUA tactics without knowing the aftermath that could potentially happen when you upset. If you encounter a crazy bitch, look what happened to Feroz V, I think his name is. He went to Montreal, and he basically a very prominent pickup artist. He goes to different places in the world, and he went to Montreal, and these social justice warriors, they poured beer all over him and almost tried to get him arrested. So women are masters of deception. Socially speaking, girls learn more about communication and sexual interactions far earlier than boys do. And they learn that they can use their bodies and emotions to get material benefits. When puberty starts, boys fall victim to their biology, and a torrent of hormones kicks them right in the nuts, and they need sexual release. And due to this social inadequacy, young men fall victims to friend zoning, and because older men are more mature and less hormonally tense. And this is why younger chicks prefer older guys. If you see the description for a video of a woman explaining how she openly screws over guys, right, you'll get more of an understanding about what is happening. MGTOW philosophy should be the first thing that boys learn in our society. Boys should find these topics, and this is why I continue to make these videos, and this is why other people need to make these videos as well, to provide information to young men who pretty much, they're starting off puberty in a disadvantaged position. So in the end, it starts moving away from PUA into MGTOW, because the primarily men should be doing things because they like doing them, not because they're doing them to get a woman. And unfortunately, although many PUAs tell men to have a life outside of picking up women, much of what they do is geared towards making themselves more attractive to women. PUAs often dedicate hours of their week to practicing day game, night game, all kinds of game, right? They do games so much that their life literally becomes a game, and they lose focus of what their life is really about. They fall out of touch with reality. And here's why I think MGTOW philosophy can be used to truly help men live more fulfilling lives. And a lot of men pursue MGTOW tactics because they want a woman in their life, because they think or believe that this is what will make their lives complete. And the problem is that if you are not complete by yourself, adding a woman to the mix will just make things worse, right? If a woman is a gold digger, a feminist, or just demanding, what do you think is going to happen? Western women these days are trained to catch a man and then expect more from him when they become comfortable in the relationship. And this happens all the time. Stay safe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like the video, you like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.